Did Angel Reese just threaten a lockout? I'm not joking. Can we just talk about how crazy this is? She just threatened a lockout. She's not even on the WNBA board and she just threatened a lockout. Like, what is going on? What is going on? And like, in Angel Reese's defense, pretty damn good game and Unrivaled today. She seems to have Fee Collier's number, in fairness. Bit turnover prone, a lot turnover prone, but in fairness, good game, some good finishes. But all of that's overshadowed because she just threatened the lockout. So there's this tweet I saw this tweet from Legion Hoops. If y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. Angel Reese on the upcoming WNBA CBA. I thought this was Legion Hops or Lurgin Hoops. I thought this was gonna be a Centel. But no. This is why sometimes you probably should have somebody look over a podcast. And this is a mad thing. This is an absolute mad thing because, by the way, I have no issue with the players threatening to sit out, just not via a podcast. Go through the union. Be smart about it. Let's take a listen.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
I mean, Angel Reese isn't wrong, but like, I'm sorry, because of the way the league works, the max that's going to happen is double. So Angel Reese is going to go from 70k to 100 and the max that's going to happen is double. She's going to make an extra 70k. I'm not joking when I say this. Angel Reese, there are hours where Angel Reese has made 70k. That's like 2 more speaking engagements is the max that will happen.
Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody, yeah. Everyone. I'll agree with that. Especially because of the revenue the league is generating right now. But again, it's probably less than they think because the WNBA owns a very small proportion of the league. And just the way things are with American sports leagues, you can't just have a rich owner willing to pay crazy amounts of money like you can in other sports leagues.
I agree with that.
But we got to face the consequences.
Y'all got to deal with something.
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract again.
Mm-hmm.
The ones the year after, they going to get more. They probably going to be making more than us.
I mean, kind of. They kind of will be making more. They might be making more on their salary. But, like, this is the same person that literally, like... And I do not dislike Angel Reese. This is the same person that literally said she didn't know what her WNBA salary was and that it didn't even cover her rent. Make it a big deal about the salary when it's literally, like, Angel Reese makes at least $5 million a year. The most that a rookie contract salary is going to be based on a new CBA. Even if their rookie contracts end up going up. Even if the rookie contracts end up going up or her contract gets brought up, it doubles. It is what, like 1% of her yearly earnings? 1%?
Oh, they are. I'm hurt.
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
And also, that's not good from Dijonay. Like, you don't leak what's coming out of CBA meetings on a podcast mid-CBA. You don't do that. Like, that doesn't make sense. Podcast, like, why do people say things? It was like Andre Drummond saying he was purposely missing shots to get rebounds. Like, why do people feel comfortable saying whatever the hell they want in front of a podcast mic?
I need to get in the
You need to come to the meeting.
I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility for real.
And Dijonay basically just said, yeah, it's happening. You're not getting what you want. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you'd see with Dijonay's response, she actually threatened a damn lockout.
I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
We sitting out. We. Not if I don't get what I want, I'm sitting out. Dijonay character is like, yeah,
that's a possibility.
it's happening.
For real.
Yeah.
We sitting out. She's literally threatened to start a damn lockout. She's threatening to go on strike. And it's like, I understand. I actually understand it's the way negotiations work in the CBA. Not on a podcast. Do not threaten to be like the figurehead of a lockout. Dejanay is there, like, basically just said, yeah, that's what's happening. And then Angel Reese was like, yeah, we out. And please, I hope that it's one of those things like a we, as in, sometimes a lot of people talking about themselves in the third person will say we when they only mean themselves. Any individual player can sit out a season for whatever the hell they want. I don't really care. But and by the way, the WNBA, if they feel like they're getting screwed in the CBA, they can genuinely see what their pull is. They can go and start a lockout. I don't think that would be the smartest thing in the world, because if they do end up going for a lockout, while women's basketball's on this crazy upwards trajectory, it's going to stop that trajectory there, and maybe they get a little bit less this CBA, but the next CBA they've got all the leverage, and like they might be in a position where the WNBA might be able to buy out the people, like buy out part of what the NBA owns, buy out part of what the the investors own. They might be able to buy back some of the stuff if there's any deal there. Asking for fair wage is a must. I would say triple salaries. Rookies get a raise too. Equity is ridiculous. Like, even the men look at, did they ask for equity?
Like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like.
Oh yeah, sorry. What am I talking about? That was literally like one of the things Neka said. It's like, I don't know why the word equity comes in, because what's going to happen then? Like, there's only a finite amount of equity. And it's like, players get equity, and it's like, what players get what equity? Does Caitlin Clark get more equity than someone else? Like, how do you deal this up? It's like, there's finite amount of equity. And then if it's in contracts that players get equity in their teams, then like, what's to stop the team going public and making 1 billion shares? So you get X amount of shares instead of X amount of dollars worth of shares, and basically making your equity nothing. What's to stop a teams doing that? And also, if it's too much equity now, in 20 years' time, you're screwing those players over, because there's only a finite amount of equity. That one never made sense. That just never made sense for me. Equity is just a buzzword, I think, for them. Like, ownership over the league. Like, genuinely, if they really didn't want equity in a league, they had ownership. Players should literally they should have all agreed. It should have been like a league-wide thing. We're all playing on Rivals. We're only this league. We're all playing on Rivals. They can't afford to sit out. Caitlin Clark, Angel, Aja, Sabrina, maybe a few more can sit out, but a lot of us can't. Most players can afford to sit out because they don't make that much in the W season. The problem is that their WNBA season, how they do in their WNBA season depends on their, like, if they're better doing the WNBA, the bigger their contract is overseas. But most people, CBA negotiations will be any players that would play games of a union call for a strike. No, I don't think so. Isn't disclosing CBA negotiation material if you're on the board against fair negotiating practices, basically admitting they are going to be making more than players now means CBA is being negotiated for a major increase. WNBA, like, yeah, like, I don't see how this is good. And first of all, I can't believe this is real. This is actually real. I cannot believe this is not sent out. I actually can't believe it. Like, Dejanay basically confirmed that rookies in 2 years are going to have a huge spike, which, again, we all know it's going to be happening, but, like, I'm sorry. Like, Neko Wumake, who's the president, like, she's been on podcasts, and at least she has never basically stated what they think is going to happen. Like, she's not even, anytime she's asked about the CBA, she just goes, oh, we have all these people, and, I mean, we're negotiating with the league, with the owners, and we're trying to get what we want. She's not even going into specifics. Just like, heck, on Sue Bird's podcast, Sue Bird, because she's a part owner of the Seattle Storm, anytime there's CBA negotiations, Sue Bird steps off the podcast, and now we literally have a player who is in all the meetings talking about what's happening at the meetings publicly, and one of the biggest names in the league threatening to go on strike. Like, what the hell is happening? Like, imagine if, I don't know, if there was a new CBA in the NBA and let's not even LeBron, Anthony Edwards in like 3 to 4 years. I think it's like, whenever it comes in, it's like 3 to 4 years, isn't it? If Anthony Edwards suddenly just goes, let's say, I don't know, De'Aaron Fox is at the meeting, or Brunson's at the meeting, and Anthony Edwards is a person from, or on a podcast with Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson freaking leaks that the salaries are going to be big while Anthony Edwards is in the first year of his new contract, and Anthony Edwards is like, man, well, you better give me what we want, or we're done. We're sitting out. A player who's not even in the meetings, not on the association, but one of the biggest names and faces of the league, threatening to threatening to go on strike and start a lockout. That's just mental. And there's no way that this podcast clip will not come back to bite the WNBPA in the ass during negotiations.